Hey YouTube, what goes on? And welcome back to Disavowed Action Figures. Tonight, bringing another action figure review, taking a close look at the Marvel Legends Nemesis Build-A-Figure Wave Marrow action figure. Very excited to have this one, very 90s-esque. And no, don't you say it's from Marvel vs. Capcom, because it's not. Wink, wink. Enjoy the video, but if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you, does not cost you anything, and it helps us grow the channel tremendously in the march to 7,000 subscribers. Enjoy the review. So after I finished my review on Nemesis Build-A-Figure, I started to ask myself what I want to review, if any, out of the other 7 figures. I want to at least review some of them since I have them. And I thought, you know what? Let's watch some old Marvel vs. Capcom YouTube videos. And I never really saw Marrow in that game too often. Wow, she's freaking awesome in that game. So I was like, you know what? Let's crack Marrow open, since basically they haven't directly said it, but they more or less are giving us all these Marvel vs. Capcom characters, which just coincidentally we could put with their Street Fighter and other characters by Jada Toys. So we'll see if anything else comes of that that's official down the road. But with that said, let's crack open Marrow. But first, let's look at the packaging. So you got a pretty good look at it on the rotating base. But here up close, here is the write-up if you want to pause it right there, take a read of that. Pretty cool artwork right there of Marrow. On the side, we get the name, also the artwork right here on the bottom. Top, we get the X-Men logo, and then on this side again, the same artwork going on right there. I have a pretty, I don't want to say a connection, but I guess I'm pretty fond of this character. I mentioned in my last review on Nemesis that I was kind of a 90s comic book kid, so I remember Marrow popping up in a lot of stories, late 90s into the aughts. She looked a lot different early on. She's a Morlock. She looked much more kind of like animalistic, I believe, early on. I don't know what led to her. Maybe she had another mutation later in life, looking a little bit more human rather than animal or monster-esque, whatever. But it's a cool character design, and after watching some of that video game on YouTube of her just jumping around and throwing bones and all sorts of cool stuff, I want to crack her open, so let's do it. And here's Marrow out of the packaging. Before I get to mention, in case you did not watch my Nemesis Build-A-Figure review, which you want to check it out, I'll link it down below. I did get this from CMD Store, the online Canadian website. I got the entire wave in all at once as an all-in wave. I want to say, again, with shipping calculated in, it's probably around $3 to $4 more per figure, I'm pretty sure. So not too terribly bad. Last I checked, they were no longer in stock, but feel free to check that out if you're curious. But yeah, Marrow looking okay, looking cool. I believe this is on the Shriek body. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on that one. Some good things, some bad things about this that jump out at me. So if you haven't seen these reviews before, what we'll basically do is we'll take a close look at the figure. We'll look at the accessories. We'll move it around a little bit. And I'll do my thing I love doing all these videos the most, which is compare Marrow to other Marvel Legends and other action figures in my collection. So first, in terms of accessories, we do get alternate hands. So basically, we come with 2 gripping hands on each hand, which are going to go with the weapons, the bones. And then we also get like a chopping hand right here. And then we additionally get a punching hand. So interesting enough not to get 2 punching hands, but I guess we should be happy we got a set in general. But again, those gripping hands, very important because they're going to be basically holding Marrow's primary weapons, which are the bones that she basically rips off of her body. So since her inception, her mutant power or ability has been, she, unfortunately, painfully, I believe, grows these extra bones out of her back and out of her body, and she literally rips them out of her body and uses them as swords and as weapons, you know, knives, all sorts of things. So these are literally meant to be like basically bone knives or bone swords. So they came out looking pretty good to me. They seem, I think, pretty much identical. I think they're identical. Oh, maybe they're a little different. This one here looks a little bit more seared. So yeah, they're a little bit different. So give them creativity points for that. They put a little bit of difference into it. And also looks like there's maybe a little bit of paint on there, like just enough to kind of give it some like weathered look to it, I believe. So I think that that's on there. Handles down below have the grips on them. It also looks like a bone, right? So getting to some negatives right away about this. While we're talking about these weapon accessories, it would have been really cool if somehow they devised this, that these pop off the back and are used as additional weapons. Those are pretty much glued on there from what I can tell. So that's a bit of a bummer. I'm not going to try to rip it off, obviously, if it can't go back on without gluing it. But that's kind of a miss to me right there. If they would have made these actually removable, almost like a sheath sword to pull in and out, I'm sure there'd been some way they could have probably pulled it off. But that's my first just kind of little nitpick about this thing. Now let's take a close look at the figure itself.
So the looks of the figure itself, the aesthetics, if you will, to me, this is a figure that's going to be noticed on your shelf very quickly. Obviously, the bones on the back, despite the fact they don't come off, that they're not mobile, she still looks really freaking cool. You know, they did a nice job. I like the color scheme. The green and the blue looks nice on this thing. All the extra bones going around. She has the bones for the knee pads right here, the blue gloves on the sides. Stomach muscles on point for an abdomen. As far as the gold going around here, for I guess it's the belt, looks pretty good. There's the butt right there with the green and the blue there on the pants. I'm not seeing anything really wrong with the line work on there at all from what I can tell. So again, paint I think is fine. As far as the back goes, even these bones going down her spine, just popping out of her back. So you can imagine that being pretty dang painful, I would think. Head sculpt looks good. I'm almost getting like a Black Widow vibe with the head sculpt. Obviously, the red hair is going to kind of push you in that direction, but I really feel like you can probably, if you wanted to, pop this off and use it as a shorter haircut for the Black Widow. But again, overall looks fine. It does what it needs to do as far as how it looks aesthetically. And again, it's pretty aesthetically pleasing to me. Again, if you don't have a Morlock collection, you know, she's meant to be more or less put in your X-Men collection since she did join the X-Men. I think it was like in the late 90s for some different story runs until she actually, I guess, further matured with her mutant abilities to kind of look a little bit more human. But yeah, overall, I think it looks fine. I think it looks pretty cool. And aside from those bones just being stuck on there, those look pretty nice too. It's a very interesting looking figure. I think it's going to look good on your shelf. So getting into articulation, the head will rotate all the way around in a circle. It'll look down about, not very far. Oh, there we go. Sorry, we're getting it. Down about that far, look back, very far back as well. Not too bad. A little bit of pivot attitude. Not a whole heck of a lot going on right there with that, unfortunately. With the shoulders, you're going to get out to the sides a little bit above 90. Now, the thing is, this would rotate all the way around, but you're going to hit the bones in the back. So you have to kind of work your way around. Not going to bother even doing it. Upper bicep cut going on right there. Double jointed, pinless elbow goes all the way back. Very nice. The hand will rotate all the way around in a circle. It is on the, looks like left to right hinge on that side. And then on this side, let's see, also horizontal left to right. Would have been nice with having the sword weapons if that would have been on a up and down or vertical hinge. But it's not. It's okay. Upper thigh cut going on right there. Double jointed, pinless knee, looking very nice right there. No boot cut or anything. It's just the paint right there. Foot will go down very far, about that far down. Foot will go up relatively far also, about like that. It's on a rocker. It'll kick forward. Let's see, about that far forward. It'll kick back about that far back. Splits. She's just going to do some gymnast type stuff, right, when she fights. So splits are really good on this thing. And then here at the torso section, it will rotate all the way around this way. It goes down to the side very far. Down that far, to the side, down this far, down to that side. So overall articulation on this thing, it's what you would expect. Again, I think it's a Shriek buck, but I'm not the king of acknowledging those sorts of things. So let me know if I'm wrong on that one. But you get what you need out of her. You can probably do some pretty good fighting poses with Marrow for articulation. And just being thorough, I know I kind of showed you how it rotates around like this, but if you really wanted to see, it does go very far back right there from what I can tell. And then also relatively far forward, not too far forward. I guess the bones kind of prevent you from going too far forward. You're going to get a lot of back right there going out that torso. So yeah, I'm digging it. And maybe I shouldn't do this because it kind of brings attention to the thing that I said that I didn't like about it. But I guess one thing you could do that's an added thing is you could basically just have her holding one of the bones in her right arm or left arm, whatever, and have her reaching back and actually grasping like she's going to pull one of the other bones out of her back. That's why it'd be cool if she actually could. So the fact that you can at least simulate it, I guess, is nice if you think about it. But again, if they would have been somehow able to make these poured in and poured out with them, without it being a huge problem with them falling out on their own, would have been a pretty nice added little feature to this thing. But it's all right. I'm still digging it. Okay, so the thing I love doing all these videos the most, let's do some comparisons. So for comparisons, we'll do a little bit differently today. We'll try to mix in some of the other action figures that are actually in this fighting video game as well. So here we do have the Marrow Marvel Legends from the Nemesis X-Men Build-A-Figure wave. Same with the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Guile, and also the Cable from the 2024 Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Zabu figure wave. And here is Marrow standing with the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Chun-Li figure and the Marvel Legends Omega Red. I think it was the Sauron wave. I could be wrong, but man, these do mix really, really well together. And check this out. Here's Marrow from Marvel Legends, along with the Juggernaut from the Marvel Legends Colossus Juggernaut 2-pack, which was recently re-released. This is the original release. And then also the Jada Street Fighters 2 Ryu figure. And here's Marrow as compared to the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 M. Bison figure and the Marvel Legends retro carded Silver Samurai. And here is Marrow as compared to the Marvel Legends Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Wolverine figure and the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Dhalsim figure. And here comes Marrow along with the Captain America Secret Wars retro carded figure and the Iron Man modular armor Iron Man. And unfortunately, he will not allow me to put him on there because he'll fall. But here is the Blackheart Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure from 2024 standing behind Marrow. And for comparison with two more female Marvel Legends of larger buck variety, here is the Iron Man retro-carded She-Hulk standing next to the Secret Wars retro-carded Titania with Marrow. And here's a look at how Marrow scales with the Star Wars Black Series Bo-Katan and the G.I. Joe Classified Jinx figure. And here she is standing with the John Constantine from Mezco Toys. And I had to move the camera way back, so there's a look at my entire display. But here is the Nemesis Build-A-Figure compared to the Marrow figure. And if you want to see my review on Nemesis, check it out. I'll link it down below. This dude is awesome. And here she is as compared to the DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys Big Bad Mother Fragger, Lobo. And last, and as everybody loves to say, certainly not least, here is the new Marvel Legends Marrow Nemesis action figure Build-A-Figure wave figure, standing with the AEW Jazzwares Back in Black Orange Cassidy. You know, I kind of think it's a good thing that Cassidy's wearing those glasses. Kind of feel like he's, you know, not looking her in the face. He's probably looking straight at those bones. All right, everybody. So overall closing thoughts on the Marvel Legends Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave Marrow. It's cool. If you collect all X-Men Marvel Legends, or again, you have a big Marvel Legends shelf, this is a great representation of a character that we needed in our collection. She is a Morlock, but I think in this form, she was more or less already just an X-Man. Her Morlock figure would look a lot more kind of gnarly and monstrous, kind of animalistic, which is cool too. But overall, it's a fun figure. I can't find a whole lot wrong with it. Yeah, you could always improve everything. You can get better articulation. I wish that these things came off. At least maybe one of them could pop off, that you could reach back, pull it off like a sword. But again, I'm digging it for what it is. Solid figure in a solid wave. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is free for you, does not cost you anything, and helps us grow the channel tremendously in the march to 7,000 subscribers. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell for notifications, because that way YouTube should notify you and tell you when we post new content here to the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button. And for daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us out over at Instagram at Disavowed_12. Hey, everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 P's of the toy hunt: patience, persistence, most of all, politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.